Hello everybody. Now, my moral experiment is going very well, and I'm only waiting for a few more bits of information to be able to compile my findings and present you with my, conclusions. However, it will still be towards the end of next week before I will actually be able to present this to you. And one reason being that I am actually going to be on my travels. I'm actually going to travel across the pond, where we'll be spending a few days near Jacksonville in Florida, attending a conference over the weekend. So that's one reason why it'll be the end of next week before I can present my results. Before I go though, I would like to talk to you about morality, because I've noticed an awful lot of people seem to be very hung up in the old dichotomy about morality, that morality should be either objective or subjective. And the way it is always presented is that the people who believe in objective morality seem to think that there are some sort of set rules, whether they're handed down by a god or whether they can be rationally derived in some way or another, that would apply to everybody under all circumstances. And then the opposite opinion, that morality is subjective, but to the extreme where people seem to think that morality is basically just something that everybody makes up for themselves as they see fit. Neither of these two points of view seem to fit with what we observe in reality. In reality, morality seems to be quite constrained within certain parameters that all emotionally healthy human beings seem to be able to work within a moral framework that is constrained, that isn't completely free for people to decide in what they would like to do. And I think the best way to understand what's going on here is to understand that morality, a moral instinct, is innate to human beings. We are born with a moral instinct. It is very similar in a way to the way we are born with a language instinct. All human beings, unless we have certain pathologies in our brains, but all human beings are born with an innate capacity to acquire a human language. And if we look at all the human languages in the world, they do all seem to be formed according to certain basic principles, grammars. Even though all languages are different and all languages have different grammars, there are only so many variables that we can apply to human languages that all human languages fit into. So we are born with an innate capacity of acquiring a human language, and then due to the particular language that we are exposed to as we are growing up, we acquire one particular human language, one specific human language, with a very specific grammar and structure to it. But that doesn't mean that because different human beings speak different languages, that the grammar that we find in human languages is a free-for-all that can vary wildly from one human to the next. It is constrained. It falls within certain strict parameters. And it does look very much like human morality works along the same lines. Now, based on our cultural background and the way we are brought up, morality can fall within certain parameters. There is some flexibility there within certain parameters. But the basic principles on which all human morality is built is the same for all human beings. And in that sense we can say we have an innate sense of morality. We have an innate moral sense. We have the capacity as human beings, again, unless we are suffering from certain pathologies, we have the capacity to acquire a moral framework. The precise moral framework that we will acquire depends again on our cultural background and the way we are brought up, but again there is only so much variation possible within human moral frameworks. And because of that, we can, as human beings, understand each other's morality, even if another person may speak a moral language that we don't really understand. It is still based on this same innate moral capacity that we all share, and therefore somebody who has, like some human beings, have a knack of acquiring different languages, some human beings are able to understand morality that's coming from a different cultural background better than other human beings can. But we do have a shared set of innate capacities, and based on that we should be able to make progress in the moral sense. That's just a thought I wanted to leave you with, and I shall talk to you soon.